Greetings everybody, welcome to another Goody Reader comparison video. My name is Michael.
This is Peter.
Today we have the Apple iPad mini, first generation, against the Apple iPad Air, which is the 5th generation. Well, why are we doing this comparison video? Well, a lot of people have the mini, it's been out for a while, and since the Air just came out, people may be thinking, is it worth it to upgrade? And if you're wondering that question, this is the video for you. We're going to focus on the e-reading experience, so we got magazines, newspapers, comic books, ebooks, and a whole lot more. In terms of specs, they're relatively the same. The screen size is a bit different, 9.7 inch on the Air versus 7.9 on the Mini, 1024 by 768 pixels on the Mini versus the 2048 by 1536 on the Air. Processor, a little bit different, 1.3 gigahertz dual core on the Air versus just a single gigahertz dual core on the Mini. Double the RAM on the Air with 1 gig, and with the same sort of cameras, you got a 1.2 megapixel front-facing camera and a 5 megapixel rear-facing camera on both, although the Air says that it is HD display.
They both look very much the same. They both have stereo speakers at the bottom. They both have lightning connectors, so if you have the old 20-pin adapter, you will have to update to the lightning connector. We'll just give a little bit of a view here. They're both very similar looking. Actually, the iPad Air looks like a giant iPad mini. That's what we were saying earlier in the
the side bezels are relatively the same size.
Yeah, you can see at the bottom, they're pretty much the same. So the iPad 3, as you can see in our previous comparisons, the bezels were gigantic. The thing was heavy. This is a great new addition to the Apple family. Okay, so of course I remiss to mention that this is a 64-bit and it has quad-core graphics, so it can really sort of take the next generation of apps to a different level. Let's look at content. That's really what this is all about. We're going to look at comic books first. We are going to boot up Marvel on both of these. And this is the first page on both of these devices. So this is what they're both going to look at. Resolution's very large on this, although this is a smaller screen, so usually when the screen's smaller, resolution naturally looks a lot better. But you can see that the resolution is just so good and the screen's just so good that it's coming through very well.
So with Comixology, after the iPad 3, so iPad 3, 4, 5, they push HD comics out, whereas the iPad mini does not support HD comics. So there could be some differences with the graphics and the colors and things like that. It's mainly due to the HD versus the SD.
Let's look at Get Ready Burger Shack. Look how clear, I'm just so hungry. Look how clear that is. Look how round the letters are. And then if you look at this one, it's a little more pixelated, a little more fuzzy. I mean, it just speaks for itself. We've actually zoomed in more on this, and it's clearer. So there's the screen really coming through here on the iPad Air.
And that's like a little thing for us to nitpick, but a little thing like this is indicative to the overall performance.
For sure. And just so in case we didn't mention, this is the iPad Air November 1st, 2013 launch day. So this guy just came out. And we know that tons of people have iPad minis, and we've compared it against countless things. So you have guided view, you have the full page, you can pinch and zoom. We keep these in portrait mode because it looks better on camera, and comics are kind of made for portrait mode. So colors are great. So you can
really see the difference on the oranges and the yellows and everything.
Absolutely. So hope this definitely helps you decide which one you would rather purchase.
Yeah, I mean, the Apple iPad mini a little bit more pocket friendly than the larger iPad, but I think any serious comic lover would have to strongly consider this just because of the superb graphics qualities when it comes to HD comics.
Absolutely.
Okay, we've looked at comics. Now I think it's time to continue the trend of graphic content and look at magazines. So we've purchased a Rolling Stone magazine from iBooks, and this is the Apple newsstand. So we're going to check this out here.
So we have Miley Cyrus sticking her tongue out here, but it's a good comparison so you can see the different skin tone colors and all that kind of stuff.
I wonder if she knows if her eye makeup is running.
I don't know about her. But either way, this is about the quality of the picture.
So, not the quality of the girl.
No,
in the picture.
Absolutely not.
Zing.
So they both change pages very quickly. See, the iPad mini has a little tiny, ever so slight lag when you turn the page. Just a ever so slight chop. Whereas the iPad Air is very quick. So you'll notice that there's these little red things kicking around. These will actually, if you click on them, they'll take you to videos, audio clips, websites to buy certain things. So it's kind of like interactive. Let's go to this picture for a sec so you can really get a good idea of the resolution. There's no pinch and zooming options, at least with the most magazines purchased from Apple.
Okay, so we've looked at sort of the overall magazine experience. Let's check out something else that most people do, which is newspapers. So we're going to fire up the Press Reader app.
And we have our Vancouver Sun, and we'll go to the cover to start. So on the iPad Air, everything's, it's the font's small, but it is readable. On the iPad mini, you can't really read that. It's very difficult. You can either pinch and zoom on both of these to really find that sweet spot, or you can tap on any blue highlighted article, and that brings you into an article view here. So what you can do from here is change the text, like so. Change the text font styles, and you can actually long press as well. And what this does will give you a little bit of some options. So you can do page view, listen, oppose, agree, all that kind of stuff. And you can go right back to the page view by closing it or pressing the page view option on the bottom. And this is the full newspaper edition, so you have ads and everything. You see sales and shoe stores and all that. So it's just as if you picked it up off of the newsstand.
My opinion is that, obviously, I think that the large screen is a little bit more compelling because it can fit more content on it, and it's less scrunched together. And that's just because you have like a bit bigger of a screen. Even just like looking at these graphics for Anniversary 7 grand opening, you just have a larger screen, the graphics are bigger, the pinks are a little bit more richer here than it is there. It's sort of the trend that we've seen so far, is that the mini is a bit muted for colors. The oranges aren't as true as the orange, the pinks are less pink, than the Air. So it's a matter of what you want. Are you willing to sacrifice clarity for more of a pocket-friendly nature, or are you the type of person that really wants the colors to shine the way that they were intended? That's sort of what you're going for. So we've really looked at comics, magazines, newspapers now. The last thing to look at is ebooks, and this is the sort of thing that's less relevant to resolution. It's black text on a white background. How does this affect it? As you can see that this loaded it up very quickly. That took a little bit of time.
Took a little bit of time indeed. So you have your page turn animations. You can spend all day messing around with this.
Instead of actually reading the book, you could just play with the page
20 minutes
turns.
later, you're like, I'm done.
Yeah. That was a good book.
Yeah. So you can change the font sizes, the font styles. You can change the themes. So you can change it to sepia, whatever way you want to pronounce that. Night mode, make it easy on the eyes during the night.
Yeah, a lot of people find reading on tablets that tablets have a light emitting from behind the screen into your eyes, and so reading black text on a white background, especially if you're reading for an hour or two, could really burn them out. So you kind of maybe want to change that glowing white background to something a little bit more like much akin to paper, which is sepia mode, or just change it to black. And if you're reading at night where the tablet's the only thing illuminating your room, you could actually read for longer without eye strain.
Keyboards are exactly the same. Obviously, this is a little bit more spread out due to the width of the screen. You have these secondary and tertiary areas for all of your extra characters. You can also long press, make highlights, and from there change the color. You can also make notes as we showed you, and you can search Wikipedia, the usual ebook customization options, and all that fun stuff.
And we've gone with the iBooks apps because this is the bundled app that really comes with the iPad. We could have just as easily gone with Kindle or Kobo or Barnes & Noble or whatever, but we're just going with the app that's bundled with it because this is most people's initial e-reading experience. And the one difference between iBooks and the rest of the apps on iOS is iBooks is one of the few bookstores out there that actually sell the books within the app. Amazon, Kobo, Barnes & Noble, Sony. You can't actually buy books within their apps like you could say on like Android or on Windows. So that's something to bear in mind, that if you're going to this platform to buy books within the app, you're in for a rude awakening. Apple's the only game in town for that, and they actually charge a little bit more than their competitors. So if you want to say do business with Amazon, you have to actually buy the books on your Kindle or on your PC, sync them over, and then once you have the Amazon app, then your books will automatically be loaded off the cloud. So we've looked at a lot of ebook content here. I think the last test is to run a quick video and audio test playing something off of Netflix.
Okay, you can look now. These are your new outfits. What do you think of your old duds now, Applejack? Pretty swanky, are they not? I'm Twilight. I made this dress for you, and I designed each outfit themed to perfectly reflect each pony's unique personality. Oh, it took me forever to get the colors right on this one, Rainbow Dash, but I did it. Oh, and it turned out beautiful.
We looked at My Little Pony episode here on the Mini and the Air. Peter, what are your thoughts?
I think it's not too much of a contest. The colors and everything between the two, it's the audio, the video, everything just looks better on the iPad Air. It does it all better. It's smoother, it loads quicker, it renders faster. I mean, the iPad Mini is not bad by any means, but if we had to choose which one just displays and has the better experience, iPad Air.
Okay, so at the end of November, I think it's November 21st, or maybe about a week later, the second generation iPad Mini will be out. So we're going to compare the Apple iPad Air against the Mini 2 veritably in about 3 weeks or so. So if you want to see those comparisons, stay tuned to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/goodyreader, and for all the latest news, previews, interviews, and industry-wide coverage, you can check out our main website at goodyreader.com. We publish anywhere between 6 and 12 articles a day, chronicling the rise of e-readers, tablets, digital publishing, e-paper, and a whole lot more. And for a comparison of the Apple iPad Air versus the iPad Mini, my name is Michael.
This is Peter.
Everybody take care.